I'm a member of NAN, and also I got my Rotary Club to do it, feed the homeless in Irvington, and everything I'm involved in, I try to get people to do. I even got investors to help.
Well, it's
To help
beautiful.
feed the homeless.
I saw your picture on the award program Herb Glenn had on last night. So I know
Oh,
he
really?
honored you. Yes, on nature.
Yeah, that was like right after my mother passed away.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was right after that.
Well, I see our time is moving on, so we're going to get started. And those who are coming on, they're just going to join on with us. So I want to welcome everyone and say that,
Oh, yes. Thanks, Abel.
yeah,
Welcome.
everyone, it's heartfelt for me to restart, okay, and it's not easy. But I want to say that since we were installed last month, uh, well, in February 27th, we have gotten to be in compliance. So we're up and running. And I'm looking for members, I'm looking for supporters, I'm looking for workers. And so my contact information, all of you already have. And I'm looking just to make sure that everybody is going to be familiar with the same information. And I just posted it on my Facebook page. So everybody, if you're on there, just send it out, please. Just share it so that we know the NAACP is alive and well. We are a civil rights organization. And I'm going to start us off by saying we ask for God's favor, blessings, and mercies. We ask for good intent. We ask for the people who support us, who will make a difference in this life and in this world. I mean, I'm going to now ask that our Vice President, uh,
Yes.
Jerry Ensign, read the mission statement.
NAACP mission statement.
Yes.
NAACP mission statement. NAACP mission statement. The mission of the NAACP is to ensure the political, educational, social, and economic equality of rights of all persons and to eliminate racial hatred and racial discrimination.
I want to thank you. And if we have any questions, will you please put them in the chat box. I see Honorable Charnette Frederic is on. She is just a lovely person that, whenever I've communicated with her, usually I email her, she gets right back to me. She's been working in the PTA. At one point, she's president of the Florence Avenue School PTA and trying to also work very, very feverishly to make things happen over in the West Ward of town. She's been active for a number of years and participating in the NAACP work right along with us. I'm very proud of her. She usually takes her little son with her. Well, he's a young man now. And that I think is an example of what the parenting has to be, that it sets the example for those who are coming and those who are going to continue to make a difference. So we're going to have Charnette share with us for a few minutes, and then we're going to have Dena Corbin come to us with essential oils and also seeds of nature. And then we're going to have Chef Roscoe to come, and he feeds the whole neighborhood. He's been doing that for a long time. And he has something in his business, in his restaurant business, and in his career to share with us. So moving right along, Charnette, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to be with all of you with NAACP. As always, every time they call, I have to answer. This chapter. It's very dear to my heart. As you just heard the mission statement, I think that was one of the reasons why I get involved into politics, is to encourage those who do not know. Me coming from Haiti at 17 years old in Irvington, not knowing much, limited English, and when I had the opportunity to get involved, to help out, having my son, as you mentioned, and then I needed to get involved to know what do I do? Where do I start? My parents is in Irvington. How do I help them? And then so this is how I start talking. And then the more you talk, the more they want you to get involved. So I am so grateful to be with you tonight. To discuss a little bit on what's going forward, what's happening. I know with this chapter, you get a lot of information, especially regarding the COVID-19, especially with all the thing that's happening right now. First and foremost, I wanted to make sure that my condolences for all of you probably lost someone due to the pandemic. I myself, I did lost my uncle.
Oh,
The part that was painful, they were in New York, and where my family came and visit. When somebody passed away, this is the time where we all together to love each other, to remind each other of all the great memories. But with the pandemic, that was very difficult for all of us to really even thinking where to do, what to do, and anything needs to be done. So I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that, because I think all of you probably, close, or somebody that especially in Irvington, we lost a lot of our people that, all I have to say, their memory will last with us, and remember their impact in this lifetime, and that's what keeps us going. So with that being said, the next thing that I think that Miss Richard saw on the news letter with Irvington Herald, one of the key things that I did, because we know about the COVID-19, we wanted to remember those who passed away. And then we designed March, the first Monday of March, as a day of COVID. The reason for that, not just in Irvington, throughout the whole United States, multiple municipalities put their head together and bring a resolution together to remind the people. Maybe we cannot do a lot of things together at this time, but however, the thoughts, the prayers, and all of us, even though we are not together in spirit, we're always together. So I wanted to make sure we're all aware of that specific day that we're thinking about the COVID-19, which is the first Monday of March, and then which we had a resolution from the municipality to remind everybody, especially those of us who lost ourselves. As of March 1st, when we were doing the resolution, we have over 193 people pass away in Irvington alone. So the impact is very grave. And a lot of us, a lot of people who live in Irvington are first responders. As first responders, they continuously working in the field while, they come home with with their mom, their dad, their uncle, a little bit older. And then those are sick, and sometimes they pass away. So those are the things we wanted to make sure that we as a community, that we are together. They are not alone. We are suffering, and our heart are broken together, and together we can rise again. You know what I mean? As we remember all those who pass away. The next thing I wanted to talk about, if it's okay with all of you, is I know a lot of you hear a lot about the vaccine. What is it about? Can I take it? Can I not take it? Is it mandated? It's not mandated. So I wanted to make sure I spend a little bit of time when they call me to talk a little bit about it. As just, for those of you who do not know, I have a bachelor degree in biology. I have a master in healthcare administration. I'm working on my biochemistry. I'm working right now at Novartis on the oncology section, not in the vaccine. With all that I just say about my credential, I am not talking from a scientist perspective regarding the vaccine. I'm just talking as a person myself. So what have been done? So a lot of people always talking a lot of craziness about our African American community, especially the perception of our African American community in places like Irvington or Newark or East Orange or Orange. The first thing I told them is we had a problem with scheduling. A lot of our folks wanted to take the vaccine, but they cannot get the schedule done because they will call the number and then it will be, nobody answer the phone. So as a council member, the first thing that I do is, okay, for those of you who really want to take the vaccine, let's make it possible. Then we worry about those who are not taking the vaccine or talking about anything or having question about the vaccine. So this is the first thing that I thank the mayor of the township of Irvington for the past few months. Literally, we not only have the vaccine happening in the county, where we have a county liaison that help us with our seniors, because that was the first group of the people, and now the next group of the people we're helping right now is the teachers, you know what I mean, that are, and the first responders. Those are the people that are part of taking the vaccine right now. So one of the key things that we did is not only we make sure that we had the vaccine in Irvington. As of yesterday, we did have the vaccine, both Johnson and Johnson, the Moderna and the Pfizer. So depends on the day we have the vaccine, either vaccine that we want to have. We had it in the township of Irvington. Registration was happening. One of the key things that I said to myself, Miss Richard, that we have to find a way to do the communication. You know what I mean? What's happening in Irvington? What's going on? I had to make sure keep you in the known of what's happening. At least you can give the information out. So with the county, we have the county liaison. If you have anyone that needed to make a schedule a vaccine, if they have any issue, please let me know. We will scheduling it. That was one of our number one priority. Not tell people not taking it, but those who want to take it, make sure they get it done. Okay, so that's the next thing. The other thing that we do in Irvington is we have the emergency food giveaway every Thursday. The township of Irvington, we know it's very hard right now for our residents. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to let us know what can we help. Okay. So with that being said, we have with the county, with the township of Irvington, we do have a food giveaway every Thursday. If you have anybody, and also through INIC, we are helping those who are in needs, not only bringing grocery, also bringing them any food, because we want to make sure during this pandemic, we don't want no one to worry about, not being fed. So that's one of the key things that we work about. So I don't know if you're going to have questions, but I want to finish with Earth Day. As crazy as this sounds, I am the chair of Irvington Green. Irvington Green, what we do is we bring the whole perception of Irvington different. We want to change the perception of Irvington, because as urban community, we want them to know that we care about our community. So when it comes for Earth Day, either cleaning up. So one of the key things we're trying to do on April 24th, if we can, block by block cleanup. So what I need from NAACP is, if you have any block that want to clean up, let us know. DPW will provide the proper equipment, either the gloves, the garbage bag, the wake, and everything. So we will try our best to do block by block cleanup. And it's the beginning of the, like we want to welcome springtime, we don't want the winter coming back again. So with that, we were trying to, on the April 24th, I'm calling out all my major groups, you know what I mean? If you want to do a block by block cleanup, let us know. And we're going to put a flyer together, and then DPW will provide different things that is needed to help our residents clean up their neighborhood. One thing we're trying to do in the past, it was costing the township a lot of money, was the dumpsters. In the past, we used to have dumpsters for our residents during the summertime, one per block, but not that often because it's expensive. Right. But however, because we have some funding in the township, I'm pushing very hard, because we're saying sometimes some buck, the garbage can doesn't want to take them. As a result, some of our residents put some of their garbage at their back. We really want to clean up. So if you need any dumpster, let us know. We're going to follow up with DPW, with the economic development, with INIC, wherever we can find some funding. We're going to try our best to make sure we do the cleanup, because I think that's what the residents wanted. That's one of the reasons we want to listen and we want to help. With that being said, I think I said a lot right now, and you have a lot of guests. As a result, if you have any question, and don't forget, I can always come back. And it's important to continue bringing those information to our residents, and especially to your organization, sometimes you might not have those people on the call, but you know where they're at, you understand their needs, and we are all ears to listen and to be able to support our residents. If you have any questions, I will be all ears. And it's an honor once again to be with NAACP. This is an organization that is dear to my heart. As soon as I see for me to renew my membership, it's an honor, because I'm like, yes, because that civic engagement. I myself has the Charnette Civic Association as well, because I think this is very important to encourage our residents. The importance not just socially active, but to involve in our community. And this is how I started in politics myself. Thank you very much for your patience and your time to listen to all the craziness Charnette has to say.
Well, I thank you. Thank you, Charnette, Frederic, and I wish you well. We're going to see what we can do. It sounds very good on the updates. And certainly I can tell you some neighbors now that they would use every little inch of a dumpster if it came available. And so it is much needed, and we missed it. We missed it for a long time. And I just want to hold up just to reinforce. So we're gonna go to Dena. We have this Irvington partner. This is Queen Latifah, who's come to promote getting the vaccine. So the county has put out publicity, and their phone number to call is 973-877-8456. 973-877-8456. We're holding up Latifah, although this is about the 5th county notice that came through, because she was Dena on when she was playing basketball, and I remember that very well. Yeah, so we thank you so very much for those updates, and we're going to get to call you back. I now want to introduce another young lady who has been working in causes of improving our self-care and our environment. She put me on to what is a diffuser? What are essential oils? So we're bringing Dena Corbin, who is a master coach. She's the author of Change, Balance, and Flow, an Essential Oil Journey. She is a certified horticulture therapist, a certified utilization of therapeutic grade essential oils for holistic transformation. She is founder and program designer. We are change, balance, and flow. We welcome Dena Corbin.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. As you said, Councilman, when Sister Kalina calls or Sister Kathleen calls, you answer the call, right? So I was honored. I would not have done anything else this evening. So I just want to give you a little bit more background about myself too. I started this as a young child, and watching my parents garden and really taking it on as I had children. My son was diagnosed with a respiratory imbalance, and I started using herbs. I started hyssop and licorice was what I used, and that balanced out his respiratory imbalance. And then from there, I went into using pure therapeutic grade essential oils or plant essence. And you'll hear me say the word pure, because if it's one thing I want you to leave with, if it's one thing I want you to take away with this evening, is purity matters. Where you get your oils and who you get your oils from really matters, because not all essential oils, not all plant-based essence is equal. So people, what is essential oils? Like, where do they come from? So essential oils are the essence, the extraction of botanicals, the resin of trees, where like frankincense is a resin that comes from the frankincense tree. It's tapped like you tap maple syrup. The So the lemon oil is from the rind, the cold pressed. Each extraction had its different methods, right? So the lemon or the citrus oils are cold pressed, just the rind. The botanicals are extracted through heat, water distillation, and then you have the extraction of the frankincense, which I said is tapped. And once they are in their purest form, the way the creator of the heavens and earth and everything in between has allowed them to be, right? They have a balancing effect. They have a restorative effect on our emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. And I say that with a smile, and I say that with such passion, because the essential oils truly, truly have been that for me in every aspect of my life, good, bad, or indifferent. I have always been able to use oils to elevate me. So, and one of the things in talking about oils, you get into the frequency, and I want to talk to you about the frequency of the essential oils as well. So that's the definition. There are grades, right? And I talked to you about the purity, that's key. And then you have the different grades of essential oils. You have your fragrant grade, which is, perfumed oils that really have no medicinal value. Then you have oils that are just synthetic. You can make in a lab, you can make a lavender, because lavender, the constituents, the bits and pieces of the oils have chemical compounds. So if you have the right chemical compounds, synthetically, you can make a lavender that smells pretty much like a lavender. If you don't have a trained nose, you may not know you don't have really good lavender. So that's the downside of the oils, because I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. This is my passion. I'm so excited about this. But so let me go with the grade. So you have your fragrant grade, you have your synthetic grade, and then you have natural oils, which are, you might see organic. But organic is not always the best, because when you talk about organic, you only need a minute amount of something to make it organic, right? So that's not always a good indicator that your oils are pure. And then you have the therapeutic grade, or you might hear the term plant essence. Those are the oils in their purity. Those are the oils that Allah has created, right? The plants have been created, and the extraction methods, when they're pure, allows the plants to do what they do. And we talk about the different constituents like lamamine, susquiterpenes. These are things like lamamine has the ability, it's a cleanse, and it also has the ability to promote alertness, right? That's just the constituent, that lamamine. Susquiterpenes have the ability, which is a constituent, a part of frankincense, that has the ability to stimulate brain activity, right? So it has the ability also to do what they say, cross that blood-brain barrier. So you have illnesses that have a deterioration of mindset or cognitive issues that are going on. Frankincense is an ideal plant for that imbalance. And then I wanted to talk to you about the frequency, because what I have found is that in talking about essential oils and talking about the spirituality of how the oils can elevate us and help us, oftentimes people of color get that woo-woo kind of feeling, like it's spooky. But when I talk about spirituality, what I'm talking about is the connection, right? Just the connection. You cannot take away from, if you smell a lemon, or if you smell frankincense, or if you smell peppermint, the effect, the connection that you get from that experience. So that's what I mean. And in doing this work and having these conversations with people, I'd like to make it clear that nature plays a huge role in our emotional, physical, and spiritual balance. And I was reading an article the other day, and doctors are actually prescribing people to go and just sit in nature, right? So just sit in nature. So imagine if you can grow some peppermint and some thyme and some rosemary in your backyard, and just have that surrounding, have that smell. So when you talk about the frequency of the oils, think of frequency as like energy, right? So frequency our bodies resonate, human bodies resonate with the frequency of anywhere from 62 to 70 megahertz. That's the frequency, the flow of energy that flows through us. So, but diseases start, right? So I'm going to refer back and forth to my notes because I don't want to get this wrong. And some things I don't even try to keep in my head because I can just look at it on a piece of paper. But the human brain, right, their frequency is 72 frequency, that higher end frequency, that 70 frequency. Cold symptoms begin at 58, right? Flu symptoms begin at 57. Cancer begins at 42. And the flu also begins at colds and the flu begins at that 57 mark. So when you talk about living organisms, right? Because every living organism has a frequency, right? Every living organism has an energy field in and around them. So when you talk about fresh produce, which can have a frequency of 15 or 20 megahertz, as opposed to dry herbs that has a frequency of 12 to 14, sometimes 22, depending on the process. That's why I mentioned purity is key, and knowing how your herbs or how your oils are processed or extracted. And then you have the essential oils. Now, this is interesting. The essential oils have a frequency of anywhere from 52 to 320. So if you're feeling low, feeling down, getting the flu, and you take a frequency of oil, I'm going to go over some frequencies of the oils. Let me find that page. So rose oil. A lot of petals are used to extract rose oil, but rose oil has a frequency of 320 megahertz or 320. Helichrysum, 181. Sandalwood has a frequency of, no, I don't have sandalwood. Lavender, a frequency of 118. Myrrh has a frequency of 105. Peppermint, 78. And I'm giving you these frequencies so that you will see, for example, if you have, let's say you have the flu, right? That means that your body's frequency now is at 57, and you take an essential oil like lavender, which has a frequency of the 118, and then that will elevate your frequency. Your body will begin to feel better because now you're taking in an essential oil that comes in contact with your organs, your blood, your respiratory system, all your systems, and it will elevate or alleviate some of the discomfort that you may be feeling. The oils have the ability, and this is what they do, this is the way they were created. They have the ability to come into our systems immediately and go to those areas that we may not even be aware of that needs that support or needs that frequency. Because not only do the living organisms have frequency, our bodies also have frequencies, and our organs also have frequencies as well. So so how do you take an oil? Yes, good question. So there are 3 methods of using essential oils. You can take them topically, which is right on your skin, which I like to tell people is a more personal experience with using the oils. When you apply them directly on your skin, you can diffuse them in a diffuser. There's a lot of diffusers that are water. You add the oils to water and there's a steam that comes out. There's also diffusers that has that's one. You also have diffusers that have a air rotation that you can use. And then you also have the way you can use oils is taking them internally. And I say that with caution because not all oils can be taken internally. And I happen to be a distributor for a company that, and it's Young Living, and they use oils. You can use their oils internally, but not all oils can you take internally. So the one thing that kind of makes me caution is when I see an oil and it may say for external use only, right? So if you have a lemon and a rosemary and a thyme and a peppermint, we eat those things. So why can't we take the oils internally? One of the things that has happened recently for wellness companies is that FDA regulations has mandated that some of them, even though you can take them internally, put on there, not for external use, not for internal use. And that's because of FDA regulations. So be cautious and be careful of the oils that you take internally. The other piece is what I found, especially when the pandemic hit a year ago, I had to kind of pivot my business. So, people started and people knew what I did. So what I pivoted to was more of a gardening-based reframe, right? Because before you get the oils, you have the plants. So that's my passion now. I mean, oils are still my passion. I'm still doing that. But I want to let people understand that gardening does not take a lot of skill. I did a conference the other day, and one of the speakers said there's no such thing as a green or as a brown thumb, or you don't know how to grow something. It's just you need a little bit of a lesson. So I like to tell people that gardening is just like the oils. They have that ability to support you emotionally, mentally, and physically, to really calm you. So, if you want more information, I'm going to put my email and my phone number in the chat. I have a garden program that I'm starting in May. It's called Grow a Garden and Grow Yourself. One of the big things, and Sister Kathleen reminded me of this last summer, is my milkweed project, the butterfly project. I'm passionate about native plants, and the milkweed is the only plant that the monarch butterfly will lay its eggs on, as well as other pollinators. So that native plant situation, that gardening situation, is in dire need of a rebirth, and we need more people gardening. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure to share my passion with you. And again, I'm going to put my information in the chat, and I'll be around. Thank you so much.
Shukran, I thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm not a scientist, but you took me to science today, and I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And, of course, we want to be able to learn more and more as we go along, because if I think about it, I'm much older than everybody on this call, but I learn by doing things, by hearing things, and by ingesting them. And as I said when we started, I just hope we share this information because it's very important. I ordered some seeds last week from City Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get them started indoors. Last year was COVID time. That was the first time that I tried seeds indoors. And I want to tell everybody, it was my first time growing mustard greens, and they were delicious.
Yes.
So I look forward, inshallah, God's blessing to take us forward to some good endeavors this year. Now, the next person that we're going to hear from is our anchor, but quite frankly, Chef Roscoe has been around a long, long time with good stuff. I call him the man of food for soul because I remember so many treats that he afforded us when I was a member of the school board. Oh, he used to bring us loads of good food. And so when I got over to the housing authority, that Thanksgiving, I said, we're having Roscoe. And he loaded us up with a full, complete Thanksgiving meal. People lined up going outside. And I never forgot that. And then this month, Patrick's Day, because I am not wearing the green, but he loaded us up with such a delicious corned beef dinner that I called on Roscoe, please, if he could come on this evening to just give us one highlight, something to drive us with. and he's going to advertise his business, and he's going to tell us a little bit about our health and well-being and how you can contact him. So Roscoe, we welcome you on, and everyone, please share this information, take notes, so that we know when you hear from these people again, they're going to fulfill us with and enrich us with a lot more beneficial information. All right, Roscoe, your time.
Tell him that he needs to unmute. Tell him that he needs to unmute. Just say it.
Oh, no.
Just say it. Chef Roscoe, we can't hear you. You need to unmute your phone.
Unmute there.
Okay, can you hear me?
That's right. We cooking with grease.
Your phone, can you
Good
hear your
now.
phone?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
We're good now? Okay.
Yes.
All right, great. So I finally got it together. So far, I want to just say thank you for having me. So far, all the information that I heard was just mind blowing about the oils and about what Charnette is doing. I mean, I don't know when does she sleep with all this work that she's doing. And for Dena, for all that information, it was just overwhelming. I was like, wait a minute, I almost didn't want to come on with all that great information. So I just want to say thank you for the information and thank you for the insights and thank you for your trust in me to show you guys a little bit of stuff that I do. So I am Chef Roscoe. We have a catering company in Irvington. We've been there since 2014. And we've been at our shop since 2014, but we started in 2008. And we just started to show people that we have what we call right now, we offer affordable versatility, meaning that we can give you whatever you want without you breaking the bank. So a lot of people overcharge and do things like that, but we choose not to do that. We just want to make sure that people can be fed and enjoy their parties. With that being said, I prepared a menu that is all healthy. Now, when we talk about being healthy and being, hold on a second. One second. Give me a second. Can y'all give me a second? So when we talk about health and things like that, we know that health mostly comes from the food that you eat. And disease that we always know comes mainly from the food that you eat. So in order for you to get yourself healthy, you should be eating properly. And with that being said, I'm going to show you one of the recipes that we do all the time that is kind of what we consider healthy. So in order to be healthy, you really need to get out of your diet all of the artificial stuff that we eat all the time. We need to be as close to nature as we possibly can when what we're eating. So we don't want to use a whole bunch of processed stuff and all these different ingredients, and we want to be as close to natural as possible. So what we offer is a watermelon cucumber shooters. So we know that watermelon is high on the megahertz or the alkaline diet, and cucumbers as well. So what we're doing is we're going to make a watermelon cucumber, what we call shooters, because we would put them in little shot glasses and we serve them as appetizers for a lot of people. So I'm gonna actually put the recipe in the chat room, but right now I am going to show you how we make it. And it's very simple and it's very easy, and you can get all the ingredients anywhere. So what we start out with these vegetables here, and I hope you can see them. So we got right here, we got red onions, we got garlic right here. This is chopped scallions right here, and this is some cucumbers right here. We also are going to use a fresh lemon, and we're going to use watermelon that I'm cutting up right here. You can't really see it because you can't really see me cutting it up, but I am. There's a rind right here. There's a watermelon and stuff right here. It's real. So I'm just going to cut these into little small pieces, very, very small, so they can be manageable. The way we use them, now you can cut them into big chunks if you want, but when we use these for appetizers, we need them to be small so they can fit inside a shot glasses. So that's all I'm doing is just chopping up these fruit and vegetables. And everything here is all natural here. There isn't anything on this part that is not. The other ingredients are going to be sauces that we use and things that we do to flavor the salad here. It's basically salad. We're also going to be using some fresh mint also. And I got the watermelon all chopped up. I'm going to put this in this bowl here so you can see. And I'm just going to put everything in it. I got the watermelon here. I'm going to take all of these ingredients here, just pop them in. Then we're going to add our things to help it carry. Now, everybody loves sweets. Everybody also can't live without the salt, without the sugar. So we're going to use a natural sugar. This is agave. This is organic blue agave. You can get these at any store. Just pour it in. Not too much, but if you want to put as much as you can, go right ahead. We're going to add olive oil in here. Now, I just ran to the store and got some of these things. So we're going to put a little olive oil. Now, forgive me if this isn't, Dana, forgive me if this isn't the purest one that you can find in the world, but it's still oil, okay? So we can get the purest one from Dana, okay, you guys? Then we're going to have some balsamic vinegar, just a tad bit, just to give it that tang that you like. We all like to have flavor. We all like to have tang. We're going to add also in here, like I said, some lemon juice. So I'm just going to take the piece of lemon. I'm going to squeeze it in my hand because I don't want the seeds to go inside the salad. I'm squeezing the juice in my hand. You can see it's dripping, and I'm catching all of the seeds this way. All the seeds. Oh, that seed hit me, so I'm going to hit it back later. And you can see the seeds are in my hand here, still dripping. All right. We want to add some of this mint, because this mint picks it up for me when I did it the first time. And I said, I want to keep the mint in this dish. So we're going to do that as well. Just chop it really small. And you can make this, and I'm going to put this in the chat. I'm just chopping these things up. When you get mad, when you know you're upset and you're just, people are getting on your nerves and you had a rough day, you just come and chop some meat like this and get them out, just like, yeah, I feel better now after that. Chop it if you want. Okay, so I'm going to put this inside the same bowl. Get all that goodness out. Now, this is a tribute to the Caribbean culture. We're going to add some cayenne pepper in here, just a little bit. Now, if you want it more spicy, go for it. If you don't want it at all, don't use it. And all we're going to do now, we didn't put any salt or any pepper because we're using cayenne pepper. And all we want to do is just mix this around. That's all you have to do is mix this around. I would have some people, if this was the right kind of television, I would just feed it all to you right now. And this is what you can make as a nice, refreshing dish that you can make for yourself real quickly. Everything in that dish works. You guys will love this. You can make this at any time that you want. And you can store it for a couple of days if you want, but trust me, when you make this, it won't last a couple of days. So I just wanted to give you guys that quick recipe. Oh, it's still good to me. It's still good to me. That's all. That's why I'm pausing. It still tastes good. So you guys can make this, and you can do this at any time and get any kind of these fresh ingredients. You notice we didn't put any salt in it, and Dana would know that these are very good ingredients that we added to this dish. So I just wanted to say thank you all for giving me the opportunity. We do have a catering company. We do offer Easter packages. We offer every holiday. We're going to be offering packages. We also have our own house seasoning that we sell on called house seasoning. You can Google house seasoning or houseseasoning.com if you want. And if you need us to do anything to help you guys out, we are doing family package dinners. But I really do love helping out the community. So if there's any time that anybody needs something to eat or some people get burnt out or things like that, I'm more than happy to help out. It's never about the money. It's always about the community for me. So I just want to say thank you all for the opportunity.
He's right. Tell us what your address is and your phone number.
The address is 1379 Springfield Avenue. Our phone number is 973-372-6200. And you can reach us on email at roscoe@chefroscoe.com. And you can also go to my website, chefroscoe.com.
Would you tell us what's going on April the 9th?
April the 9th. So every Friday, we were doing a Friday takeout. That is one of our accomplishments for what we were doing to restart or pivot, because the pandemic took out a lot of our catering business. A lot of them was shut down. The hospitals came in and kind of like helped us by giving us a bunch of work. But then we started to, they started to get it for free, so they weren't paying us anymore. So we started the Friday takeouts, and that started to be wonderful. So we closed it down a little bit just so that we can restructure it and make sure that it's smooth as possible for everyone. So on April 9th, we will be having we'll be going back and restarting our Friday takeouts on every Friday, and you can have it delivered to you. You can come and pick it up, and all the meals are freshly made and delicious.
You brought me 2 boxes full of food, and they were more than 2 meals on March the 17th. And so
Yes.
I want to thank you, because certainly, you know, sometimes a good cook wants a favor. And so you provided me with delicious meals for several days, and I thank you. But I want to just share again that over the years, Roscoe, you have fed the neighborhood. And so you deserve to have the privilege of having people come to you and enjoy the treats that you are making. And I want to thank you so very much for honoring us tonight by coming and joining our panel of people. I call you the man of soul, food for soul. All right, thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that.
I want to close out now by just sharing with you this graphic, and this comes from the NAACP. You can see that NAACP is full of work for civil rights, and we do it as volunteers. And on this graphic, we have a quote from a very, very honorable historian whose name is Carter G. Woodson. He's in fact given credit for Black History Month. And I don't share it just during February Black History Month. I like to share it and pull it around all year. So this is a quote. When you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions. So I thank all my presenters, Charnette, Frederic, Dena, Corbin, and Chef Roscoe. Please enjoy your evening, and we love for you to check out our website. I thank Rodney for updates on our website, and we'll be informing you about the coming events, which I hope to include financial literacy and also more information from our health department as we move through the pandemic. Thank you and good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister
Amazing.
Kathleen.
Bye.
This has been very amazing. What a nice way to end the evening. Thank you so much.
Alhamdulillah.
Amazing.
Thank you, Dana.
All right.
All right.
Mhm.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Wilson.